What if I told you that Mount Everest is not just the tallest mountain in the world, but also holds secrets that most people don't know? Stay tuned to uncover mind-blowing facts about this legendary peak. Mount Everest, standing at 29,031.7 feet, is the highest point on Earth. Located in the Himalayas on the border between Nepal and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China, Everest attracts climbers and adventurers from all over the world. But did you know that the mountain's height isn't static? It actually changes over time due to tectonic activity and erosion. In fact, the most recent measurement, conducted in 2020, revealed that Everest is a bit taller than previously thought. The mountain was first identified as the world's highest peak in 1852 by the Great Trigonometric Survey of India, and it was named after Sir George Everest, a British Surveyor General of India. However, local names for the mountain have been around for centuries. In Nepal, it is called Sagarmatha, meaning forehead in the sky, while in Tibet, it is known as Chomolungma, which translates to Goddess Mother of the World. Question: can you guess how many people have successfully reached the summit of Mount Everest? Leave your guesses in the comments. Over 6,000 people have successfully reached the summit of Mount Everest since the first successful ascent in 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. However, this number is relatively small compared to the number of people who attempt the climb each year. Ever wondered what it's like to climb the world's highest mountain? Let's take a look at the insane challenges climbers face while ascending Mount Everest. Climbing Mount Everest is no easy feat. The climb is treacherous and requires immense physical and mental endurance. One of the biggest challenges is the extreme altitude. At the summit, the air contains only about 1/3 of the oxygen available at sea level, making it incredibly difficult to breathe. This difficult-to-breathe condition, known as hypoxia, can lead to altitude sickness, which can be fatal if not managed properly. To cope with the lack of oxygen, climbers often use supplemental oxygen tanks. However, even with supplemental oxygen, the body's ability to function diminishes. Climbers experience fatigue, dizziness, and confusion. The death zone, which starts at around 26,000 feet, 7,900 meters, is where oxygen levels are so low that the body begins to deteriorate rapidly. Another challenge is the unpredictable weather. Mount Everest's weather is notorious for being highly volatile. Strong winds, freezing temperatures, and sudden storms can catch climbers off guard, often leading to fatal accidents. The weather on Everest is so extreme that temperatures can drop as low as 60 degrees Celsius, 51 degrees Celsius, making it one of the coldest places on Earth. Question: what do you think is the most dangerous part of climbing Mount Everest? The most dangerous part of the climb is often considered the Hillary Step, a nearly vertical rock face located just below the summit. It's a bottleneck where climbers often get stuck, waiting for their turn to ascend, which increases the risk of exhaustion and altitude sickness. How did Mount Everest go from being a mystery to the most famous mountain in the world? Let's dive into the history of Everest expeditions. Mount Everest has fascinated explorers for centuries, but it wasn't until the 19th century that serious expeditions were launched to conquer it. In 1921, a British expedition led by George Mallory attempted to summit Everest. Mallory famously answered the question, "Why do you want to climb Mount Everest?" with the now famous reply, "Because it's there." The first successful summit was made in 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa of Nepal. Their achievement marked a turning point in mountaineering history, and since then, thousands of climbers have attempted to reach the summit. The journey to the top has become a symbol of human perseverance and determination. Over the years, numerous expeditions have attempted to conquer Everest, some with tragic outcomes. The 1996 disaster, in which 8 climbers lost their lives, is one of the most well-known tragedies associated with the mountain. Despite the dangers, Everest remains a popular destination for climbers. With hundreds of expeditions each year, the question arises, what do you think made Sir Edmund Hillary's and Tenzing Norgay's climb so special? Share your thoughts below. Their climb is considered one of the most remarkable achievements in mountaineering history, not only because they reached the summit, but also because they did so without the modern technology and equipment. Did you know that Mount Everest is home to some of the most unique ecosystems on Earth? Let's explore the strange and rare life forms that thrive at extreme altitudes. Despite the harsh conditions, life exists on Mount Everest. At the base of the mountain, you'll find forests and meadows with a variety of wildlife, including snow leopards, yaks, and Himalayan tahr. As you ascend, the environment becomes harsher and the life forms become more specialized to survive in the extreme cold and low oxygen levels. At higher altitudes, only a few hardy species can survive. For example, the Himalayan vulture, one of the largest birds of prey, is often seen soaring around the mountain. Additionally, certain types of moss and lichen have been found at high altitudes. This proves that life can exist even in the most inhospitable environments. However, the summit itself is barren, with no life forms able to survive due to the extreme conditions. The lack of oxygen and freezing temperatures make it impossible for most organisms to live at such high altitudes. The harsh environment of Everest is not just difficult for animals, it's also challenging for climbers. The lower oxygen levels make it harder for the human body to function, and the cold temperatures can cause frostbite in minutes. Mount Everest is more than just a giant mountain. It's a key player in the Earth's geology. Mount Everest was formed by the collision of the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates, a process that began around 50 million years ago. As the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate, the land buckled and folded, creating the Himalayas. This collision is still ongoing, which means that Everest continues to grow by about 4 millimeters each year. The geology of Mount Everest is fascinating, as it's made up of layers of rock that were once part of the ocean floor. The summit of Everest is actually composed of limestone, which is found in marine environments. This rock was pushed upwards over millions of years as the tectonic plates collided. The continuous movement of tectonic plates also causes frequent earthquakes in the region, which can alter the mountain's structure and make climbing conditions even more dangerous. Mount Everest is facing new challenges in the modern era. In recent years, Mount Everest has been facing significant environmental challenges. One of the biggest issues is the increasing amount of waste left by climbers. Trash, oxygen canisters, and even human waste have accumulated on the mountain, causing environmental concerns. Climate change is also having an impact on Mount Everest. The glaciers on the mountain are melting at an alarming rate, which could affect the availability of water for the surrounding regions. Additionally, the changing climate may increase the frequency of avalanches and other natural disasters, making the climb even more dangerous. Mount Everest is a symbol of human achievement, but it's also a reminder of the fragility of our planet. As we continue to explore and climb, we must also take responsibility for preserving this natural wonder. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more exciting content.